What if I told you in 6 weeks, you could feel completely new inside your body, see inches change from your waist, and have a brand new confidence to know that you can change your body despite your age? In today's episode, you're going to hear exactly how to do that and a real life story of a transformation that one of my clients made inside my last 6-week challenge. Now, I know 6 weeks is not where you're going to have your ultimate transformation. However, inside these challenges, I am teaching you the tools and the habits and the foundational pieces that you need to make your true transformations. And I talk to so many women every single day who feel like they are stuck, like the old things that they used to lean on are no longer working. And that's true. The old methods that we used to rely on, just cutting calories and sweating more, are not going to serve us at this stage of life. But leaning into things like protein, strength training, daily walking, and allowing recovery are really going to push the needle forward when it comes to looking and feeling our best. So today you're going to hear from Steph. You're going to hear her transformation story and how the program has helped her in her journey. So grab your favorite drink and let's get right into it. Hi, Steph. Thank you so much for joining me today. It's so generous of you to spend some time and share your story. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me.
Of course.
Really happy.
I appreciate it so much. So for all those who are listening and are watching and don't know your backstory, I know that you were following for a little bit of time, listening to podcasts, but what made you decide to join the challenge? What were you doing beforehand that maybe just wasn't working for you and you wanted something different?
So I was really more into cycling for a long time. I did a lot of cycling. But then, I don't know, we moved house and it was getting a little bit more steep here. And if you don't like do it day in and day out, you lose your, you're not getting better at it. And it's really time consuming. And then I heard a lot about like strength training and I started doing it on my own a little bit. I even had a coach, but she was really young, so she was in the 20s, and she had some good tips. But in the end, when I stopped after 4 or 5 months, I was more insecure than before. Luckily, I found you on Instagram, and I watched your recordings or your tips and everything. I started listening to your podcast, and that really helped a lot. And I started to train towards a plan. And that already shifted a lot. It really showed results, which was great. So, end of last year, I started like priming myself for a deficit phase early this year. And I bought the Fit and Fierce program, and I wanted to do that the start of this year. But then I saw, oh, there's a new program and that will be a live program. So I gave it a go, and I just signed up for it. And yeah, I'm truly, I'm so happy that I joined it. It's changed so much for me.
That's amazing. I love that. And, it makes me so happy because I think there are a lot of us who, maybe we're active, for our better part of our 20s and our 30s. But then as hormone shifts and things are changing, we're noticing that maybe the things that were serving us before no longer are helping us. And so we're in this place of wanting to feel better, maybe even putting in the effort, but just not seeing the results that we want to. And that's exactly what it sounds like you were doing. It wasn't that you had lack of effort. It was just that the things that you were trying weren't necessarily giving you back the outcomes that you wanted.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, absolutely.
So what would you say, once you were inside the challenge and you were, implementing the workouts and utilizing some of the tools to help you with your nutrition and your mindset, what were some big changes, based on what the program was teaching you versus like where you were? What were some of the things that were big shifts for you?
I think the community itself was a big shift. But the main thing for me was actually your tips inside the training program. So I've learned so much about tempo, controlling the sets and really focusing on it. Instead, I've listened a lot to what you said before, but I think that like seeing it in that challenge and having the community and being able to ask you questions, and you were always so quick in answering things, That was really a change for me. I'm training from home, so I don't have like a massive amount of weights. So it was really crucial for me to also understand what I could do to still progress without adding weight. And that, yeah, that was a game changer for me. Like all of the things, when to breathe, how to breathe, the tempo, control. Like this is really a game changer for me.
Yeah. And I think it's a lot of conditioning, like what we were used to as far as like what a good workout meant, a good workout before, like in the 90s with like P90X or Insanity, it meant that you were constantly moving and constantly trying to keep your heart rate up, burn as many calories as possible. But when we're talking about changing our body composition, which is really the most effective way to be fit and feel your best over 40, the workouts look different. They're still challenging. However, they are challenging in a different way. And so having to unlearn some of that and then apply those new concepts can be hard.
Absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it's so helpful. I mean, having somebody next to you doing the same every time when you feel down and you're like, today I'm not going to the gym, then you think about the community and all the ladies that are doing that with you, and then you just show up. And that was another change for me, because I always train on my own or sometimes with my husband, but it's like, I'm not going to a gym. I have a gym here, so I'm on my own. I need to like um yeah, be there and show up for me. And it was different if you have the community in the background. You think about, oh, maybe it was stressful at the beginning because you have 6 weeks, you have 7 days, every day has a little goal and it tells you what to do. And obviously not all the times you can stick to the full plan as it is, but shifting days was not an issue. And still, although you had 7 days planned out for yourself, and yeah, you need to do steps, or it's lower body or upper body or whatever. Yeah, it was stressful, but it was good as well. I don't know if that makes sense, but it's just that's how it felt to me. Because I'm very organized, and I am a process person. My job is around processes. But when it comes to myself, it feels different. Like I don't trust the process, but that's what you always say. Like trust the process and listen to signs, not only the scale if you want to lose weight, but like other signs that you see, that you feel, how your power is. And that was one of the things as well. Like when I think in week 3, everybody was saying, "Oh, I feel so much more power." And actually, in that week, I felt really weak, but that was just okay because not everybody is feeling the same, and it might have been just a hormonal shift in that week for me. But then the week after, I was feeling strong, and so that's a learning curve, and it helped me a lot. And I really appreciate all the women that did that, the challenge.
Yeah, the community aspect I think is really helpful. Obviously, most of the women are around the same age. We're going through the same things, and to have the support of people who understand the challenges that you're going through, it makes it a lot easier. We're stronger together, and if someone was having a hard time and they needed to be lifted up, like the community was right there to do it. Obviously, I'm always happy to do it, but there's a huge community of women who are just as willing and excited to do it too, which makes it nice because you're a part of something bigger than just you. Like you said, it keeps you accountable, and it gives you that drive to be like, listen, I have to show up. I have others who are showing up, and I'm going to show up with them. So that's amazing. On the nutrition side, because I know training was obviously a little bit different. What was different on the nutrition side that maybe you didn't do years ago or before the program?
I did try to do a bit more meal prepping, but I wasn't very successful, to be honest. I mean, I do eat like all the time the same breakfast. I prepare that, but then I've got like two or three things that I mix during the week, and then the weekends are typically a little bit different. So there was not a lot of change in terms of the nutrition because I always focus on protein first anyway. Still learned a lot about like protein is really protecting the muscle, whereas like if you are in a deficit, like this deficit determines if you're losing fat or not. So that was good for me to learn that as well. But no, I didn't change a lot in terms of the nutrition, to be honest.
Well, that's good though. It was good that you already had some of those tools in place to support your journey along with it. And I know you had sent me some photos of your before and after, and I think you were surprised, which is why I tell women to take photos. And initially, when you're at those beginning stages, it can be uncomfortable. No one's excited to take a photo when they're not feeling their best. But I'm sure at the end of 6 weeks where you had that opportunity to compare week 1 to week 6, you were probably happy that you did have that image, because when we're seeing ourselves every day, it's very hard for us to notice those micro changes. But what did you notice, from that first picture to week 6?
So I think, I'm normal weight, so it's really hard to like see a big change, but still I felt like my belly was a bit more flat, and then like my back, I really love my back. So the muscle there, like they were showing up.
Yeah.
And my posture was different as well. If you compare the two, I mean, you see little changes in the body composition, and but the posture was really different as well.
Which is huge. That's definitely a sign of body composition improvements, but then it also speaks to the confidence that you probably had at the end of that time, which is amazing, because that's what we want. And it goes to show that, we sometimes think that we have to reach this ultimate goal to tap into that confidence. And that's not always the case. When you start to show up and you love yourself the hard way and you commit to some of these habits, that confidence starts to show up way before, you've made amazing progress. I know you probably still have goals, but that confidence is already there, which makes it kind of an addictive process. You want to continue to pour into yourself because you know what the outcome will be.
Absolutely. And to be honest, I always, when I read about challenges, 6 weeks, 8 weeks, I thought like, those before and after pictures, they're just fake. I could not believe it. Really, I could not believe that this is true, especially if you are not overweighted and you're like a normal person. You probably just want to lose the last few kilos. Well, we talk about kilos and pounds. And it was just amazing. I mean, it wasn't a lot on the scale, but it was still different. And I now believe that you can change a lot in 6 weeks.
Yeah. And even as like a coach, I understand. And I've said to, the community before in the challenge, you probably remember me saying this, that this 6 weeks is not going to be your ultimate transformation. However, it does set the tone for habits. Like, you build the foundation of habits that are going to take you anywhere you want to go. But that said, it is kind of remarkable to see some of the transformations that people are able to make in that 6 week time. The nice thing about these challenges is, like, once you have them, you can rerun them, you can rerun the programs and continue making progress, continue getting stronger. And then you have those tools, you have the know-how, you have the mindset of what it takes to continue making progress and reach the ultimate goals that you have.
Absolutely. And I immediately went away, and I'm still on the same training program. I shifted a couple of things because I also learned which workouts I like, or I favor, or which are the ones that I really didn't like. And so I changed it a little bit, but still on the doing the same exercises. And I want to keep going.
Amazing. Yeah. I can't wait to hear some updates on how you're doing. Well, looking back now, what would you say is your biggest takeaway, the biggest thing that you were able to transform? And, that could be a physical thing, a mindset thing, or, just how you're going to approach your fitness journey from here on forward.
Yeah, I think I already touched face on that. The biggest thing is really that the before and after pictures are true, and that you can change in 6 weeks. And I do not feel that fluffy, if you know what I mean. So it's even though it was just 6 weeks, and I didn't change dramatically. I didn't. Yeah, it was not a dramatic change because I was working towards a set program, but like just all of those tips helped me to really focus on it, and that was the shift. So yeah, and mentally I'm feeling much better and stronger as well. So
That's amazing.
I think that were the main two takeaways
Yeah.
for me.
That's great, because now you have the confidence to know that something is possible. And I think that's very important too. I think a lot of us reach a point, and we hear this too. We're conditioned to believe that age can be a limitation, or different things as we get older are limitations as to like how we look or how we feel. But leaning into the right habits can absolutely open up a world where you are healthier than ever, stronger than ever, more confident than ever. So I appreciate you trusting something different, leaning into something different. And I can't wait to hear just updates and see how you're doing and how your progress is going. But thank you so much for joining me today, Steph, and sharing your story. I know there's a lot of women who need to hear that change is possible after 40. So I think you're going to inspire a lot of people.
Well, thanks a lot for having me. I'm really feeling honored.
Oh,
Shana.
awesome. Of course. I want to thank Steph again for sharing her time and her story with us today. I know that so many women out there need to know and need to hear that it's possible to change after 40. So if that is you, if you are a woman who is feeling like you're doing all these things and you're not seeing the progress that you want to, it's time to lean into something different. Leaning into health and leaning into strength transform my body like nothing else did. And when you do that and you're surrounded by other women who understand the struggle and maybe even the fears that you have, it makes the process that much easier. So I will leave information in the show notes as to how you can join my membership or the brand new challenge that just started last Monday. It's not too late to join us, but I hope today's episode gave you some hope and some inspiration and some confirmation to know that changing your body over 40 is possible. Thank you so much for joining me today. I hope you found this video helpful. And if you did, I would check out this video next.